Bradley Cooper's 10 Best Movies. Bradley Cooper is a multi-talented star, and he has appeared in a wide variety of films. He is one of the most talented people working in Hollywood today. Few actors have the dedication to play an alcoholic country singer and a talking spacefaring raccoon in the same year with the same level of commitment and gravitas. So, here are Bradley Cooper's 10 best movies. Number 10. Wedding Crashers. Now that Bradley Cooper has gone on to become a leading man who is likable in everything and often comes across as a hero, it can be strange to go back and see his supporting role in Wedding Crashers as the bad guy. Every rom-com has a sweet, goofy, lovable guy that the girl should be with. Here that role is filled by a career-defining Owen Wilson and the deplorable, deceitful jerk with an ulterior motive that she's actually with, and Cooper plays the latter. He plays the villainous role well. It's just odd to see him playing it at all. Number 9. The Hangover. When The Hangover hit theaters around a decade ago and quickly became the highest-grossing R-rated comedy ever made, Bradley Cooper became an overnight sensation. He went from being that guy you recognized from that Jim Carrey movie to one of the hottest stars in Hollywood almost immediately. What makes Todd Phillips' tale of a Vegas-bound bachelor party gone wrong stand out among the slew of R-rated comedies is simply the fact that it's really funny, with a likable, well-matched cast and efficient use of its lucrative premise. Astoundingly, few Hollywood comedies actually have these elements. Number 8. The Place Beyond the Pines. Ryan Gosling is the true star of The Place Beyond the Pines, but Bradley Cooper joins him in a supporting cast that includes a vast array of acting heavyweights: Eva Mendes, Mahershala Ali, Ray Liotta, Rose Byrne. Gosling plays a stuntman with a girlfriend and a newborn baby to provide for, who turns to robbing banks to put food on the table. Number 7. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Marvel fans who like the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie call it underrated, but this Rotten Tomatoes score would suggest otherwise. Just because a niche segment of the Marvel fan base found the sequel to be disappointing because it didn't live up to their absurdly high expectations, it doesn't mean Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a bad movie. It's less driven by plot and more driven by character than its predecessor. As a result, the sequel is looser in structure and less action-paced, but it still has plenty of merit for its development of the team's MCU arcs. Number 6. Avengers Infinity War. After Thor Ragnarok had established that Thor does well with a kooky sidekick, the writers of Avengers Infinity War teamed up the God of Thunder with Rocket and Groot. Thor bumps into the Guardians' ship as they respond to his distress call, and since he's determined to kill Thanos, he sets off to get a new battle axe forged on Nidavellir that will be capable of ending the Mad Titan's life. Since Rocket is a fan of destructive weaponry, he and Groot go along for the ride and end up on the Wakandan battleground for the jaw-dropping climax. Number 5. A Star is Born. Bradley Cooper made wave last year with his directorial debut, the latest in a long line of remakes of one of Hollywood's oldest love stories, A Star is Born. Cooper plays the male lead, Jackson Maine, a grizzled country pop singer, while Lady Gaga plays the female lead, Ally, a drag bar singer that he discovers and falls in love with. Most of the success of the movie comes from the on-screen chemistry shared by these two leads, while the episodic script structure, now iconic original songs, and grounded tone position it as unique from the previous versions and a truly modern take on the story. Number 3. Silver Linings Playbook. This somber, dramatic take on a romantic comedy premise was written and directed by David O. Russell. Bradley Cooper plays a bipolar man who is released from a mental institution and falls in love with a widowed dancer played by Jennifer Lawrence in a star-making turn. The dancing gives him some much-needed positivity and creative expression in his life, but it leads to contention with his football-obsessed father, played beautifully by Robert De Niro. All 3 lead actors were nominated for Oscars, but only Lawrence went on to take the prize. It was when she tripped on the stairs, remember? Number 2. American Hustle. David O. Russell's darkly comic dramatization of the FBI's app scam operation is more notable for its style than its plot. The plot becomes very muddled and convoluted as the film goes on, but Russell never lets his Scorsese-flavored visual style fizzle out, even if he doesn't have the same sharp focus with the narrative. Bradley Cooper stars alongside Christian Bale, Jennifer Lawrence, and Amy Adams, and he arguably gives the funniest performance in the movie. One memorable running joke sees Cooper's character trying to guess the end of the ice fishing story that Louis C.K. keeps trying to tell him. Number 1. Avengers Endgame. Rocket played an integral role in Avengers Endgame, which became the highest-grossing movie of all time earlier this year, toppling longtime champ Avatar. He is the character who flies the surviving Avengers out to murder Thanos in the opening act. He travels back to Asgard circa 2013 with Thor and advances both of their character arcs with a rousing speech about helping the people you care about. And he rode War Machine into battle in the film's big finale. Endgame was mostly Iron Man and Captain America's movie, but it also wouldn't have been the same without Rocket's contribution to the plot.